Centre-right Alexander Stubb of the National Coalition Party declared himself the winner of Finland's presidential election runoff on Sunday as 93.9% of the votes were counted. Earlier in the evening, when the first results were announced, Stubb of the National Coalition Party led with 52.7% support from ballots cast in advance, Justice Ministry data showed. The Liberal Green Party member, Pekka Haavisto, was behind him at 47.3% support, with 58.3% of the votes counted, the data showed. Finland elects a new head of state who will also be responsible for its security and foreign policy. Stubb, a former Prime Minister, won the first round on the 28th of January with 27.2% of the vote, ahead of Haavisto on 25.8%. He had also led Haavisto in surveys, most recently by 6 to 8 percentage points. The vote marks a new era in Finland, which for decades has elected presidents to foster diplomacy, in particular with neighbouring Russia, and opted not to join military alliances so that it could soothe the tensions between Moscow and NATO.
Yeah, feeling quite relaxed. I mean, it's been a long campaign, so of course you start getting a little bit tired towards the end, but we feel quite good about where we are. And to be honest, the campaign has been, I think, very respectful. I'm proud of Finnish democracy and the way in which we're able to conduct debates on difficult issues. The reason for it is probably that for Finland, foreign policy is existential, and people understand that. And in the linchpins of history, I think we can always take big decisions with a consensus and together. There's still a strong support in my mind for a rules-based international system and a support for the classic international organizations such as the UN. At the same time, realism means that you need to understand hard power. You need to have a strong defense force. You need to join NATO. I've been an advocate of Finnish NATO membership since the 1990s. You need to forge close alliances with countries that secure your interests, like the United States. The differences are not that radical. I mean, I've always been a NATO advocate. Pekka hasn't, but he was the one who negotiated us into NATO. And again, that, I think, for me, exemplifies the fact that foreign policy for us is existential. We both want to see Finland in the core of NATO. I think we should be a security provider, not a security consumer.
But Finns changed their minds about playing that role after Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, and a rapid U-turn led to the country joining NATO in April last year. Now, under the Western Alliance's security umbrella, the new president will replace Sauli Niinisto, who is retiring after 2 6-year terms. Niinisto's successor will have a central role in defining Finland's NATO policies while taking the lead on overall foreign and security policy in close cooperation with the government and acting as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces.